this is a note here, a video note about how to transfer files. So the basic thing is how to transfer digital files with a wireless local network on a boat while you are at sea, away from any other types of connections. You can transfer digital data, GRIB files, PDFs, or you could swap pictures back and forth. One person gets a nice whale picture, he can send it to the phones of everybody else on the boat. It's a way that all devices on a boat can communicate, and it's a very simple process and a very inexpensive. It's $13. So forth. But the main, so that's the technique, but in a sense, the main motivation of this is marine weather and navigation tactics, and it's tied to the use of the program LuckGrib. And LuckGrib is a marine weather and GRIB viewer, state-of-the-art GRIB viewer for Mac and iOS, and it generates some special files that no other program can provide us. And so even if we're used to navigating and we choose to do our performance analysis and routing and so forth with Expedition or QTVLM or some other program, it is still to our best advantage to have a copy of LuckGrib. And because it has unique data, which I'll show in a moment here. But let me mention a sort of interesting history. For 20 years, maybe 30 years, I don't know how long, we've always been able to tell our students and customers that for marine navigation and weather, hands down, you have to have a PC. That all weather programs and all navigation programs are optimized for the PC. Even those programs that have both PC and Mac, the PC was generally always best. Now, LuckGrib was the first example that came along and totally busted that theory, because LuckGrib is only available right now for a Mac or for iOS devices. And it is hands down the state-of-the-art GRIB viewer, weather GRIB viewer, but more important, it is state-of-the-art in providing unique weather data. And it's because of those unique weather data that navigators and tacticians and so forth always want to have a copy of that, even though they're navigating with another program. They'll download the data, the unique data they can only get from LuckGrib. They download that and then transfer it to the program that they choose. Like Expedition only runs in a PC, period. So that would be the case. And you can also get LuckGrib for an iPhone. The LuckGrib app, I think, is a one-time fee of like $30, I believe. I'm not sure, $29 or $30. And then that will get you the data. And here, let me just mention this and then mention here what to show what the unique data is. Here, I just made a list of this. There are probably more. These are the ones that come to my mind immediately that I use a lot, and so do others. But this is, for example, OSCAR is a type of it's a unique type of averaged ocean currents. That is a satellite measured averages of ocean currents averaged over 8 days. And it remains a very valuable model to have. And it used to be, there were several places to get it in GRIB format. That all went away. In fact, it went away bad. The people that are even in charge of the program now do not realize that at one time they provided it in GRIB format, but they don't. And so all of this unique data, all of these top parts here, the really unique stuff here, is only available in NetCDF. And Craig McFeeters, the author, developer of LuckGrib, has taken it on his own to do all of the extra work to get the data in NetCDF format and convert it to GRIB that all other users that maritime users are used to. And in fact, on top of that, not only does he get it and make it useful in his program, he very generously lets us export it in a form that we can use in any other program. So there's a big indebtedness to LuckGrib in that sense. the other one, he's got ASCAT. ASCAT is the satellite scatterometer winds. He provides the only GRIB source of that, converts it from that CDF to GRIB. And that's a powerful tool for evaluating weather maps. The NOAA, the Ocean Prediction Center, used to do this. They used to provide it in GRIB format. And for about a year or two ago, they just quit and didn't do it anymore. And they don't plan to ever do it again. So the other one is, here's a very unique thing that you can get on LuckGrib. You can't get anywhere else. That's called the Climate Forecast System. And this is for long-term planning. This is a wind and a pressure forecast app that goes out 6 months. So you can use that to look ahead. It's going to be better data than, we're used to using things like the pilot charts. The pilot charts are one thing that we get climatic data from, or really beautiful, this QuickScat data, ocean surface, KOGAL. KOGAL is a source of scatterometer wind data that was studied and compiled. It's basically ASCAT, but back in those days it was done with a satellite called QuickScat. But somebody put all that data together, and they had a beautiful. It's still available. You can get it. KOGAW. You just COGOW. You Google it and find it. University of Oregon, or Oregon State. I'm not sure. But this model is better than that. So this is your best climatic wind data that exists. And so you could use it for like long-term planning or thinking ahead, or you could do it if you're doing routing, if you want to do some sort of more sophisticated routing in one sense, like you're going across the ocean and you have a boat that's not going to, the GFS model goes out 16 days, but you may not get there in 16 days on some boats. And so you could fill in a longer trip with the CFS data model at the end is more realistic. Well, anyway, that's data that's only available in LuckGrib. The other one, and this is like fundamentally important data and brand new, operational forecast system. It's the revolution, literally the revolution in tidal current data. It's all the tidal currents in almost all the ports of the U.S., not 100%, but most estuaries. That gives you the GRIB, gives you the currents, the tidal currents in GRIB format. So you can do weather routing, optimum weather routing with real digital currents. Or if you're not doing things like that, you at least get to see what the real currents are doing. In short, it's a very powerful set of data that literally changes how we do tidal currents completely. So and we have some videos on this. And it will become known. It's not very well known at the moment, but it will be soon. Then the other thing that you get uniquely, and only to my knowledge, the only place you can get it these high resolution wind data. That's 3 kilometers data. For doing inland and coastal routing and just sailboat analysis. He's got National Blended Models, the CONUS version, the high resolution rapid refresh. That's in 3 kilometers, the sub-hourly. Now there's some places will give you the hourly and this, but I think that's the only place you get the sub-hourly. And that's every 15 minutes. And then it's a model updated every hour. And then the NAM CONUS, 3 kilometer National Digital Forecast Database. This is basically this model here. It's not even really so much a model. It is the digital version of the human meteorologists that make the local forecasts. That's their digital database. And this is a Canadian product here. And so these are the models that you would look at if you're planning local sailing in local waters. Then you would use some combination of 3 or 4 of these models and so forth. And you get it from here. So plus it's got tons of other data. And it's online. Let's see if I have a picture here. LuckGrib.com. You can go to LuckGrib.com. So that's where you get that. And then this is actually sort of what the program looks like. And so so the whole idea is we're going to get samples. I want to show now how to get a sample of one of these things. Let's do the really revolution here. Let's get the tidal currents, and well, tides and tidal currents. Now, it's not often that in tactics you care about the tides, but it might. You're trying to get through some pass or something, but normally the tides you get pretty well. It's uniform. What's not uniform over large areas is the currents, and these currents are fantastic. So let's do an example of getting this data from, say, San Francisco. And we have it all through Puget Sound and so forth. It goes up to up here into Alaska and other major bays. So we'll do an example of that. So to do that, what we're going to need is we're going to say that we have on the boat, we have an iPhone, and the iPhone has a copy of LuckGrib on it, and that's how we're going to get the data. And then we're going to transfer it. And to do this, we need three things. We need a copy of LuckGrib. That's about $30. That's a one-time fee of $30 for this amazing program. And then we need a free iOS app. Let me see if I can get that. And I'm going to have some technology challenges here, so bear with me if I get hung up, because I'm trying to mix transferring with showing the phone. So if I just go here and just say App Store, and then I want something called File Transfer, F-I-L-E, File Transfer, T-R-A-N-S, File Transfer. Let's see if I get the app. Yeah, this is the app, this one right here. And it's free. It's a free app. And that's the one I've used. There's multiple, when you get there and search around, you see there's multiple files that do this. There's tons of files that do this. Just like there's other hardware that'll do this. I'm just doing two examples. Oh, and I should mention, over the past years, I have multiple, excuse me, I just lost my power. I have multiple examples online of doing exactly what I'm doing now. Exactly what I'm doing now. The main thing that motivated doing it again is a couple things. First of all, there's a couple new things like OSCAR and this OFS. These are relatively new features, unique features from LuckGrib. That's new. And second of all, the last thing we need is a free piece of, not free, excuse me. Where is this? A Google here. Here. Amazon. The last one I did was, this was I paid $13 for this 2 days ago. Now it's $12.49. So with this little thumb drive you could put in your pocket or briefcase or sail bag, you could end up being the most popular person on the boat, because you can transfer pictures of whales to everybody's phone once you got one, or dolphins on the bow or something. So, but we're using it more in another sense. We want to use it to transfer data from LuckGrib into a navigation program like Expedition or QTVLM. Two examples of many. So here is, so that's the device we need, and that's the thing we bought here. And let me go here to the camera. Oh, it comes in a box like this, like that. And funny, it's got a manual in it, and the manual is useless because it talks about putting the whole manual talks about putting the SD card in and out of this thing, but this has no SD card, so the manual is useless. Here's what it looks like. It's just sitting there. Oh, you could plug it. It's a USB connector down here, so you could plug that right into your computer, or you could plug it just into some power cube. Right now I have it going into, here's my computer up here. Okay, so let's get started now. Okay, so how am I going to start? Okay, let me be sure we have this. Okay, here's this. Whoop, sorry. Let me see if I can move it. Okay, there. So let's do this. Now let's just do the LuckGrib and get the file we want, a sample file. So I could go here and let's say LUCK, LuckGrib, and there's the program. And I'm pinch zooming this with my 2 fingers like that. And so let's go into San Francisco Bay. Now again, these files are very high resolution, so you don't want to get them too big. You've got to, well, if you're doing San Francisco Bay currents, for example, you're probably on a landline, so it doesn't matter. But when you're at sea, then we have to think about the file size that we're going to download. Now, the LuckGrib has it's an option. It's a paid option that will link your LuckGrib app directly to your Iridium Go or phone or something like some satellite phone. Or if you're using, now we've got a lot of people now we find using the Starlink. And if you have Starlink, you're just connecting. You don't need that extra connection. But you have to think about, we always on the boat and we're dealing with these gribs, we have to think about file size. But for currents and so forth, that's not going to be an issue, because if you care about these currents, you've got a cell phone connection, it doesn't matter. But let's say that that's the area I want to get the currents for, right there, like that. Okay, so then I would just go up, and I'm using a pointer. I'm going to touch that top item, this guy up here, and choose that, and then weather file. Okay, let's see if I remember how to do this. And then I want to say new file over here, new file. This is just an example. Download new file. And now, then I'm here, and I want to change what file I want. And I want, there's the Oscar data. Let me check regional, North America. Oh, wow, good, I found it. I don't use this myself very often because I'm always here sitting at my desk with the Wi-Fi. Okay, so here we are, West Coast, San Francisco currents. They've got, look, there's all, like Chesapeake Bay currents didn't show up here. And the reason they didn't is because the area I just asked for doesn't include Chesapeake Bay. So it's smart enough not to bog me down with to download something I can't use. Okay, so I just take that. And then you look at the, and I've already selected the currents. Here are the currents, and oh, wait a minute. I can't click there. I have to click here, add. I'm going to add the tides. There, I added the tides. Create request, and then download. Start the download. Okay, so here now is the beautiful picture of the currents there's a Golden Gate area, and you have your time slider down here and so forth. So keep in mind, as noted, this is an absolutely beautiful, and you can always just, oh, hello. I got interrupted here in the office, and then I also looked at the clock and saw we were already up at 20 minutes or so. And so I'm going to stop this. I'm going to break this into two parts. So we see, so far now we've seen that there is some beautiful data that's only available at LuckGrib, and a very quick, rough presentation on how to get it. But if you go to the LuckGrib, or if you have the LuckGrib product, it has very detailed tutorials on how you do all the different steps. So I'll stop here and I'll come back with part 2 about the actual transfer of the data, which is the subject at hand.